Good morning. This is breakfast today. I got 3 scrambled eggs, sausage, jalapeno, onion. I think that's it. And a side of fresh Florida strawberries. They're in season right now, so gotta treat yourself. Berries are actually a low carb fruit if you're doing keto. So any type of berry, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. It's all low carb. So lunch today is a pork shoulder steak and asparagus. This will be my last meal of the day. Alright, so this is finished lunch. Pork steak and asparagus. So I just made it to the American Stage Theater in St. Pete for my acting class. I'll show it to you. It's behind me. That's what it looks like. Pretty big building. Still pretty nice out too. I'm enjoying the weather. So I just finished the acting class. It was a lot of fun tonight. We began the class pulling cards with different emotions. Then we couldn't say anything. We just had to act those emotions out, and the other people would guess them. And then during most of the class, we had a simple script, and we just had to select an emotion, then do the script with that emotion. So it was pretty fun, actually. And the second time around, we heightened the emotion, so it got pretty good. It's definitely what I want to practice with, so I enjoyed that class. Anyway, hope you all are having a good Monday. I'm going to head home. This might be my last video clip for the night, so if it is, hope you all have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Alright, bye. Alright, so I decided I'd make one final video for today, and I just wanted to talk about how I'm feeling being on intermittent fasting. Sorry about this camera angle, I know it's probably not the best. But I'm feeling pretty, actually more than pretty good. I feel a lot less bloated. The hunger isn't really as bad as I guess I thought it would be. I do get hungry, but honestly, it's more of a craving than a hunger. You see Donnie in the background there. So I can deal with that. I just have to tell myself to shut off that feeling. But I feel like intermittent fasting is really working out well for me. I feel like that's probably a key I was missing. I have been losing weight since I started the channel, but it hasn't really been too consistent. Not as, I don't know. Consistency, it hasn't been too consistent. I'm thinking back when I went to Europe at the end of September, I was around 290-ish. So now I'm back at that weight. So it's taken me quite a few months to lose weight, and I don't know. I think after I got back from the trip, I was having a rough time too. But anyway, I just think that intermittent fasting is what I need for myself. There were times, I guess, of just when you grow up in that mentality of needing three meals a day. Can't talk. When you grow up with that mentality of needing 3 meals a day, you just think that's your default. So, I'm just thinking in the past, after my improv class or acting class, I would feel hungry, and then I would stop at Publix and get chicken wings. I would usually get something low carb, sometimes not low carb. But I was just I had a hunger, and I allowed myself to give into it where maybe I didn't need to give into it. I don't track calories, but I assume that my calories were probably around prior to my third meal, were probably around, I don't know, 1700 mark, which if you're trying to lose weight, that's another meal on top of that probably isn't ideal. So fasting's definitely putting me in a deficit. I believe, like I said, I'm not counting calories, but Pretty sure it is. Um, so there's that part of it, and I think humans aren't really meant to be eating consistently. I know a lot of people think you need to eat to keep your metabolism up, but that doesn't really make sense to me. It's like, why do you always want to have something in your belly and not let your body burn the stored fat? It's just burning what's in your stomach. So it's like your body never has a chance to burn the fat that you have stored. So intermittent fasting makes sense in that regard. Um, so, but yeah, you just have to find out what works for you. I feel like, I mean, I don't know what the scale's going to say this next Friday. I'm hoping, I mean, if I lose anything, I'll be in the 280s. So I better be in the 280s. But besides what the scale says, I just feel better. I feel less bloated. I notice my 3XL shirts are fitting a little looser now. This shirt is a night shirt that I wear. This is a 4X, and this is like real baggy. Like I can feel the extra length on the bottom of the shirt. So I just, yeah, you have to be aware of the non-scale victories when you're losing weight. Something else I noticed, which I asked AI, and it said it could be due to losing weight. But I feel like lately I've been more unbalanced. For some reason, like I'll be walking, I'll just like lose my balance and kind of start tipping over, and I have to catch myself. I've probably done that in the past couple times, but just lately it seems like it's happening more. Um, so I don't know if that has to do with losing weight, but I noticed that too. Um, because well, yeah, when you're overweight, your body. I don't really know how your equilibrium works or the balance of your body, but I know when you're overweight, your body has to work harder to balance. It's just the fat is unstable, so it puts you off balance. So, I mean, it makes sense thinking when you lose weight, your body has to like rebalance itself. It has to find its new center of gravity. So that makes sense to me. But I don't know if that's why I keep losing my balance. I just thought, I don't know. Maybe it's due to losing weight. Who knows? But anyway. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about how I feel. I feel really good. Um, Kind of like not giving in to those hunger pangs kind of also makes me feel a little what's the word, confident and a little more in control, like I have more power over myself rather than just giving in and eating. I feel like, yeah, that I'm in control and I'm working to get what I want. So as I talk about hunger, my stomach is having some pings. But yeah, it just gives me, I guess, a better sense of satisfaction. Like I feel, I don't know, I feel like I'm really doing something now to lose weight. So, by the way, that lunch was really good. The pork steak. If you've never, the pork steak idea actually came from when I was doing dietdoctor.com recipes, which I still highly recommend them. I haven't been to their site lately, but that's how I found a lot of low carb recipes when I initially started keto back in 2017 from the recommendation of my doctor. She actually told me to start with dietdoctor.com. So, like I said, I haven't been to their website lately, but I'm sure they still have a lot of good recipes and probably a lot of new recipes. I did a few, I don't know, probably last year sometime. I went to the site, and there were actually some recipes not on the site anymore. So luckily, I printed them out. Actually, a few months ago, I don't know how long ago it was actually, I made a keto lasagna. The noodles were slices of chicken, like deli meat chicken, and I like that a lot. It's got a lot of tomato sauce in it. Um, Which I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it has a lot of sauce in it. Uh, but I don't know. I'm just thinking like stuff like that, I probably tend to eat more of. Um, Lately, I feel like I've been doing less processed, obviously less ultra processed, but also less processed in the sense of processing foods yourself, like into a lasagna. I mean, the sliced chicken's probably heavily processed since it's deli meat, but even if you slice your own chicken breast, I mean, just the idea of eating a lasagna is processed. The cheese and the chicken and the sauce, and I forget what else went into it. The seasonings. Just uh, it's just something to stimulate your dopamine. So I guess you just have to be careful with what you're eating. It might be keto or low carb, but if it makes you overeat, then it may not be a great idea. Um, but I feel like lately, other than this past weekend, I've been eating more whole foods, I guess you could call it, like the steaks and vegetables. I really like my vegetables. I know I've talked about doing carnivore intermittently, but I just get really bored with carnivore. It's definitely not for me. It's not a diet that I can do all my life. Like, it's not a lasting diet. Um, if you want to use that to lose some weight initially, I think it might be great for that. But for me to stay on that for life, I can't do it. I know there's plenty of people that do it, like Jordan Peterson. I think his daughter had to do it for she was, I don't know, allergic to a bunch of different things. Then I think Jordan Peterson, started doing it himself. He says he feels great. So if it works for you, then by all means. But I just I get way too bored. It's like I need some variety in my diet, and I don't think vegetables are a bad thing. Um, Maybe if they're coated in chemicals and poisons, they might be a bad thing. So if you do leafy stuff, you want to try to do organic. So I think the leafy vegetables, the pesticides and all that stuff tends to stick to it more and hide in all the crevices of the vegetables. So if you do like leafy things, it's best to do organic. The same with fatty meat too. Um, I had pork recently today, and that wasn't organic, but I'm pretty sure Publix doesn't sell organic. I'm not even sure if Greenwise is organic. It's just like I don't know what Greenwise is actually. It seems like they advertise it as organic, but I'm not. It doesn't. I don't remember actually reading organic, so I need to investigate on what Greenwise is. But anyway, with fatty meats, the animal, um, it will just store a lot of those hormones and chemicals that they pump into animals to grow bigger. Stores all those in the fat. So if you eat a fatty type of meat, you want to get organic. Um, that's why I've been buying the Greenwise bacon. And like I just said, I don't know if Greenwise is actually organic, so I need to look into that. But it's probably better than the other stuff. So, anyways, yeah, I've been trying to eat more whole foods. Um, the weekends for me are kind of my days that I like to try to do stuff with friends or families. That always involves food, which, you know, which isn't going to change. Um, I think there's probably going to be some days where maybe I do try to be more consistent. Like when I was at my sister's house, we were making burgers, and initially I planned to eat a lettuce wrap burger. Actually, I had the leaves of lettuce all prepared, and then I saw that he was toasting the buns with garlic butter. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So I gave in to it, but I don't feel guilty about that, um, because like the weekend before, I gave in with cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, also chips and dip, spinach artichoke dip, and I think the day before that, What did I have the day? No, I think the day after. Yeah, the day after I had the Wendy's breakfast baconators, which I definitely don't regret that. Those things are delicious. That's like my favorite breakfast food for fast food from a fast food place. I'm not trying to encourage you to eat that, but I just, so I ate that stuff, and then that same week, last Friday, I was down 3 pounds. So I still know that I can lose weight by doing intermittent fasting and allowing myself to eat food like that sometimes. However, I don't really want to do it. Like, I don't want to tell myself, oh, the weekends are my cheat meals. Like, that's not what I'm going to tell myself. But, if a friend, whomever wants to go out to a place, at least I know that I can do that, and I don't have to feel guilty about it because I can go back to my regular diet of low carb and intermittent fasting and control that. Like, I can control these urges, whereas in the past, eating a meal like that would kind of happen the last weekend because I had that cheesecake and the other stuff, and then the next morning, oh yeah, that's right. For dinner, we went to PDQ. That was before the movie. Then after the movie, we went to the Cheesecake Factory and had cheesecake and the chips and dip. So it's just like the next day, I also stayed up late that night. And I realized that staying up really affects my hunger. It must throw my hormones off because I am very aware of how I feel the next day. I don't know what I would really call it. I want to say maybe the brain fog. I don't really know what that term means. For me, it's like a heaviness in my head and just like tiredness, I guess. But it's not like a physical tired, it's just like, I don't know, like there's something going on with my head. It just feels like it hurts and it wants to like shut off, but I push it and like it's struggling. And when it feels that way, I want to eat anything to, I guess, make me feel better. So I felt that the next day. And I also had a sense of not being satisfied from the PDQ. So that's why I went and got the breakfast baconators because I felt like I had to get that fast food taste and satisfaction, that ultra processed satisfaction, I guess. Ultra processed satisfaction. I like that term. So that's another reason why I gave into it. And typically in the past, I think I would have let that spiral into probably cheating for a week, and then that would turn into a month, and then I gain weight back. But right now, I can say that I feel much more in control. And I think intermittent fasting did that. I think intermittent fasting just, I don't know, makes you more aware of your control, makes you more aware that you can be in control. You don't have to give in to these hunger pangs. Just because you're hungry doesn't mean you should be eating. A lot of times we eat for the wrong reasons too. We're either bored or just craving sugar. So yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about intermittent fasting. It just makes you more aware that you're in control. So, all right, I think this is definitely the last video for tonight. I'm going to try to work on a script a little bit for the next video project. So we'll see how much I do. But I want to get to sleep early too because I don't want to feel that hunger tomorrow and tiredness because I don't like that feeling. Anyways, hope you all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.